Hello everybody, I'm Michael, and today I'm coming at you with another review, but unlike my previous reviews, this will be over a Reaper paint kit, not a Lego set. I've been painting a while, just the normal miniatures for different board games and RPG games like Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons, but I've never owned any of the paints myself. I've always just gone to other people's houses or done other things to get paint. But now I'm finally starting to build up my own collection, and I thought this would be a great place to start because they do have these little boxes. So we'll go ahead and look at just kind of the front of the little case that you get. It is a very nice case. It even has some little rings up in the top here where you could put a lock through there, or maybe just kind of tie something so it won't come undone, even though the latches that you do get are fairly sturdy on both sides. So in the top left-hand corner, we have the Reaper Games logo. This is just called the Learn to Paint Kit Core Skills, and it includes base coat, washing, and dry brushing, which are the three main kind of skills that you'll probably need for painting miniatures. You also have the nice little Reaper Bones character there, and it's just kind of the Mr. Reaper on the right by the logo. It includes 3 Bones miniatures, 2 Master Paint Series brushes. We have 11 Master Series paints and a detailed set of instructions that just kind of helps you to go through the basics of starting to paint. This contains both Reaper Bones and Master Series paints, and then the main focal point, I guess, of the front little sticker. We have the 3 characters. We have the Orc Warrior, the Knight, and the Skeleton Archer. And then the bottom it just says, "This Learn to Paint kit includes all the tools you need to paint the Reaper way." So that's a pretty nice looking box. We'll go ahead and look at the back here, just turn it around. Here we have a little bit more information. There's a bunch of stuff back here. If you guys want to pause the video, there's some warning labels, and it just tells you in more depth what all is included, as well as showing all the miniatures unpainted, all of the paint colors, the paint brushes, and the instruction booklet. So you can buy this from Reaper, or you can get it off Amazon. I bought this one from Reaper, and it cost me $39.99 US. On Amazon, I think it's a bit cheaper, but if you're considering buying this, I would definitely recommend supporting Reaper by buying it. So it ships in a very nice kind of plastic case, kind of reminiscent of one of the Pelican cases or something like that. You could definitely use this for a few different purposes, even if you don't want to hold all your paints and stuff. So it has 2 latches on either side here that are pretty nice opening. They feel good. So there's a decent amount of pressure put on these when they're open. I have already opened this one, and you'll see in a minute that it's kind of confirmed. But this is what you'll get inside. It opens up nicely and just kind of doesn't have a closing mechanism, so I'm just going to lean it up against the wall. So first we have the booklet of the painting basics. It shows all the miniatures, the 2 different brush sizes that you get, and all the paints. So I'm just going to flip through this very quickly. There are all the paint colors. And then it shows that you need the instructional booklet, which is kind of weird because this is the instructional booklet. Here we have some basic stuff. Let's see what else we have. Some more just kind of use and care. I'll just go ahead and kind of scroll through these, and if you guys want to pause the video to see and read any of this. And so now we get into the actual painting tips themselves. There we have some stuff about mixing paints. And we're only going to go through the instructions for one of the miniatures just because they're fairly similar after that. So I have only painted one of the miniatures so far, and I painted the skeleton that is right here. And I really enjoyed it. I did follow the instructions, although I probably didn't need to, but it did give you some nice information. There we have some stuff about washing. Here we have dry brushing a base color. And then we have the final steps here. There's some more of the dry brushing the base color. And then we have dry brushing a highlight color. Some little brush techniques down there. Here we have finishing with just painting like the weapon and the quiver and the arrows and everything, and the base. Here we have just a little bit more. It shows you some of the different wash mixes that you can use for the different colors. That is probably one of the nicest things I think about this little booklet, is it gives you some kind of nice little recipes to paint some of your miniatures and give you some nice wash ideas. And so here we have the final product and just a little bit more dry brushing, and there you go. There's your finished product. And then you have all these little bonus tips down here with Mr. Bones. And then we get into the Orc Warrior. I'll just show the finished picture of him. Not going to go through everything with him. But anyway, it's a very nice instruction booklet, and on the back we have an advertisement for their Just Paint series. reapermini.com, because that is their website. Let's go to the back and see if there's any more. And then here we have the Bones Ultra Coverage just the lineup of paints that they have. And then it shows the other Learn to Paint kit. I might end up getting that in a little while after I kind of use up some of these paints or do all these miniatures and stuff. But I think that's a really cool kind of secondary thing. So up there it says that these are $3.69 per bottle, and each bottle is a half an ounce of paint. That seems like not much paint at all, but at the rate that you paint, that it doesn't take a whole lot, and that'll last you a while as long as it doesn't dry up. So we just have a couple different definitions back here for some of the more technical terms. But anyway, it's just a great book. It's really well done. It's a kind of, I don't know, rough paper, not super fancy or glossed or anything, but it is very nice. So here we go into the main contents of the box. And inside there was also a little kind of card that you got that if you had any problems, you were allowed to kind of call them, and it gave you an order reference number. But I'm not going to show you that because that contains some personal information about my order and stuff, so I didn't want to show that off. So I think first we're going to look at the miniatures that you get. So here we have the Orc Warrior. Let's let that focus. It's a very nice looking miniature. I believe that these are what are called the Reaper Bones Black miniatures, which just means they're slightly darker color than the normal white bones. Great detail on him, just like all the rest of the Reaper minis. Haven't painted him yet, but we will be getting around to that soon. Very nice looking figure. So we'll set him over to the side. Next, we have the Knight. So he does have a bent sword, and that's how I received him. But in the booklet, it does say that just because they are kind of plastic and they're bendable, they're meant to be very rigid, or not rigid, but very durable, so they will bend instead of just kind of snapping. So it said that you could go put them in some hot water and then bend them a little bit past. So like if I wanted it to be straight here, I'd want to bend it a little bit like that, and then it would kind of bend back to there once the hot water has hit it and activated, just because it is a soft plastic. Once again, very great detail here. So many different kind of little armor pieces and rivets, and a nice shield there with a cool kind of little cross with a fist in there, I think. But overall, a very great character, and once I get his sword straightened out, that'll be perfect. So here we have a slightly different thing. So we do have the skeleton archer that I mentioned earlier, but I have already painted my skeleton archer because I was just so excited once I got my kit. So let's go ahead and look at him. The paint job is not perfect. I'm not claiming to be a great artist or painter or anything, but I think it went pretty well just for the first time painting in a long time. I have not done miniature painting in multiple years, so I'm really excited to have some paints of my own to work on now. But there he is, great looking figure. We have the quiver, the arrows, but just overall a great looking figure just like the other two. We'll go ahead and set him to that side. So now we get into the two brushes. These were packaged, but I took them out of the packaging so that I could paint with them because I've already used these. So here we have, let's go ahead and look, the number 2 hairbrush. See if we can get that to focus. There we go. It says number 2, and then I think it says Sri Lanka there. It's a really bright kind of metallic gold, so it is hard to see. But this is going to be your flat brush for pretty kind of broad detail. Nothing too fancy with this one. It's just a normal paintbrush, fairly large. So set that up here. Next, you have your fine detail brush, which I believe is a number 0 brush. So here we go. Yep, it says 0 hair, and then also Sri Lanka. Yeah, it's a lot easier to read that one. But this one comes with a little plastic tip cover. Sorry if there's a lot of reflection. This is just a very shiny piece of plastic. But you can take that off pretty easily. It's just there to kind of hold the brush so that the bristles don't get bent in packaging. And once again, these are packaged in a nice kind of little blister pack. Sorry, I can't get this to focus very well. There we go. This is a significantly finer brush. It's about the same length, but it is a lot thinner and finer for more intricate details, like some of the smaller things on the characters. So I'm going to go ahead and put the little cover back on. When you put these on, you definitely want to make sure that you try not to catch a bunch of hairs going down, because that'll just break the hairs. It'll happen eventually. I think it's about to happen just because this brush is frayed a tiny bit. But you try to minimize that whenever you're doing this. Okay, well I guess I can't do it right now, but you definitely can do it. And then we get into the paints here. So you can see we have all the paint colors. And the lids actually do mean something slightly different. So the white lids, I believe, are the Bones paints. No, these are the core colors, and then are the black, the Bones, I believe. So Yeah. So here, let's go through all the colors here. So this is a Master Series Bones high density pigment. This is a 1/2 ounce bottle when I mentioned that earlier. So this is the Mountain Stone color. I know you won't get a huge amount of detail about what colors these are, but it will let you know what's in here. So we have Mountain Stone. You do have 36 slots to put paints to, so if you buy more paints, you'll have a lot more storage space, but you only have 11 filled slots. So here we have another Master Series Bones, but this one is Desert Sand. This is a very nice one. This is the main color from the skeleton that I used. So let's see, next we have, this is just a Master Series Core Colors, and we have Polished Silver. Then next we have another Master Series Core Colors, and Harvest Brown this time. Here, let's get through all of these Master Series first. Here's just another Master Core Series and a Pure Black. This is definitely a useful one for building washes, which I've definitely figured out over painting the skeleton. Here we have a Master Series Bones, and it is called Dragon White. This is also a fairly useful one. I like that you get the base colors and then a few kind of variations of some different colors, because you also get some browns and some grays. Another Master Series Bones is Blade Steel. And then we have Leather Brown from just the normal Master Series paints. Here we have, one of my favorite colors that I got was Dragon Blue, and that's what I used for the fletching on the arrows for the skeleton. And then we have Naga Green, and this is a Master Series Bones paint. Very nice color. Haven't used it yet, but I do think it looks nice. And finally, we have Candlelight Yellow. I think this is a fantastic looking color as well. I think all of these are very good and very versatile, and I think that's what they were going for with this opening kind of first package that you got. This is obviously advertised towards beginners of the hobby of painting or gaming or whatever you want to call it. So you get a nice kind of variety. You get white, black, a few different browns, a few different grays, as well as some primary colors there. You don't get red or purple or anything like that, but I think those colors will be significantly less common for use than blue, yellow, and green. But I think this is a great set if you're looking to start painting or just starting to do anything related to miniature painting or hobbying. I think it's a really cool set that you get the kind of case with it. It's a very durable case too, and I believe that this insert will come out. Yeah, so the insert comes out and it does have a bottom, so even if you wanted to just take this out and put it on a shelf or something, you could definitely do that. But you can put these back in there. Oh, there go the paintbrushes. But that is a nice place to hold all of your stuff. You can put it all together so you never lose paints or brushes or anything like that. And I think it's a really great option if you're looking to start. It's also very good for the price, because normally, as I said, that these were $3.69 each, and you get 11 of them, so that's your money right there just in paint. Plus you get the miniatures, the case, the brushes, the little booklet, which I definitely think is probably a main portion of this. I'm not sure if you can get the booklet anywhere else through a PDF or something, but there is a possibility that it's out there already and you don't have to buy this to get the booklet. But I would definitely recommend this kit. I think it's a great value. You almost make your money back, as I said, just with the paint, and then the miniatures are kind of thrown in. And I think this gives you a great variety of paint colors, so if you want to continue painting even more than just these 3 miniatures that you are given, you will be able to paint some more miniatures, and it'll just be pretty easy because you already have a wide selection of colors. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as comment any questions or anything you may have, and I'll see you later.